Hello, you guys, and thank y'all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Journey Podcast, where I am your host, Kiara. Hello to those of you that are new and joining us in this new season that we're in. So excited for you guys, and those that are normal watchers, hello to you guys as well. So grateful to always spend time with you guys on Thursdays here at 7:30. We are here every day. I mean, every Thursday, not every day. I wish we could. I wish I had time for that. Every Thursday at 7:30, we're here. Um, to hang out and just kind of talk and kick it a little bit for a little while. And so thank you guys for tuning in. If you weren't able to catch last week's episode was about it was our 1 year anniversary. So here we are. We're still going strong. Just a little like quick thing. I had literally had to take the deep I mean, a breath from my toes, okay? I had to take the deepest deep breath that I've had to take in a long time. Because while I get on here and I record um for the week, I just had like it's so much stuff like in a day's time. It's like sometimes I don't even know that I have the mental capacity to do to get on, but I still do, and it just kind of it definitely is like a woosah for woosah moment for me. And so I just wanted to say that because y'all just getting up here don't be easy, and I just want you guys to know why in last week's episode I just was so grateful because it's been some times where um it's been a bit of a struggle for me to just get on, and it's like I'd rather not. But I get up, I do it, and yeah. And so I wanted to this week's episode, what we're talking about is now what um like what happens next. I like I said in last week's episode, I talked about how I didn't see myself getting to where I was, and that was a destination for me, and a milestone just to even keep going. I thought like maybe I could do it for like a month, 2 months, or whatever. But a year is a big it was a big deal for me. And so now what, after all of the when the celebration is over, um what what's next? What do we do after that? A lot of the time I find myself getting caught up on milestones. um like, oh, I made it. Okay, so what's next? You made it, and what are you gonna do? Have you asked God to continue to give you the tools to navigate with through what He's brought you through? Like as far as like next steps go, um, like what's next and all, like what do you do? You know? Um After the celebration, after the graduation, after um after the milestone, after you just the long posts, all of the attention and the that everyone has been giving you, and the oh, congratulations, after the congratulations, what? After the party, what? We done celebrated. We done made social media posts about how we just didn't see ourselves getting there. And what's next? You know? That's the hard part for me. And if you don't relate, then I get it. Send me some tips and tools as to what's next. Like what do you do afterwards? And so yeah. What do you do next? Like what are we talking about next? What's um we've celebrated the destination, and God is proud of our transformation, but we got to keep going. We got to keep growing. Y'all not like I like to replace going with growing because it just fits. It doesn't matter what context you try to use it in. It goes like perfect. And so I found myself feeling like I met God in the middle of my journey, and I started it with God, don't get me wrong, but I felt like I was closer to him in the middle of it. And so it just kind of, my conversations changed, and the questions changed. So instead of like saying, "Oh God, like um what do I do now? What do I talk about? Um, how do I what's now? What do I do now? How do I get to the next step? What's the next step?" I found my conversation changing to God. Please continue to give me um the like the strength to handle what it is that I prayed for. Um the strength to operate it. The strength to navigate through these answered prayers. And so here I am, my prayers are being answered. I ask God to lead me. I see like how faithful he's been through this whole thing. Um and so just because I reached a destination, just because I hit a major milestone, I don't feel like he's done. Y'all know that song? He's not done with me yet. There's so much more to the story. I love, like, I wanted to get hung up and caught up on the milestone, and I just kind of forgot I still have more work to do. There's still more for me, and I'm so grateful because it's like, wow, here I was, and I wasn't expecting this, but God was like, girl, that's just a little something, little sample. You better stop. You better stop being obedient after this. You better stop praying again, like how you did that last time. You better stop being close. You ain't gonna be reading your Bible no more, are you? Because you done met that milestone. And so, yeah, like after the celebration ended, I found myself sitting quietly, with God and just saying, now what? What else do you want from me? And it's like, because I've seen how faithful he's been, it's like it's not gonna be hard for me to navigate through these next steps. And so I strongly believe that God is not finished answering my prayers, and I feel like there's so much more to the story. And I'm excited about it for real. Like I really am. I'm really just yeah, you brought me this far, and I know that you didn't just bring me this far to admire the past. So it's like I don't even want to spend so much time where I've gotten so far ahead. I don't want to spend this time looking back at the trauma, at the brokenness, at the unhappiness, um, at the things that broke me, at the things that broke me to a point where I know that I needed to I needed to get myself together. And so I don't want to spend this time. I feel like the last season, the first season we spent time healing, and the second season we kind of spent time looking back on how far we came and how much we've grown. And so I don't want to look back no more, y'all. I want to look forward, and I want to encourage someone else that it's time enough for looking back on what you, now I'm not saying forget what you went through. I'm not saying that. I'm saying at that point we were mourning what we went through, and now we can find it in our hearts to be grateful that we went through those things to get to who we are now. Because had those things not happened to us, we wouldn't be who we are. Our character would be different. A lot of things would be different. Like it's like with kids these days and kids back from the 90s. So here I was born in the 90s, and childhood was a little but my kids cannot say that, and so they can't relate to me when it comes to that. So it's like my character is what it is because of what I've been through. However, these kids these days, I don't know about nobody else's kids, but my kids sometimes they have a little sprinkle of entitlement, and I have to hold that now. I don't owe you nothing now. And I gave you, don't get me to start acting like, oh. um, and so, and don't get me wrong, we created that. We created that, and we have to take accountability for that. But, um, the character who I am today, who I am, who I show up as is because of what I went through. And and I pray all the time um, that my children inherit the good character from me. Um, and regardless of what they've been through, but like I said, what you've been through is what made you who you are. However, we don't want to spend so much time, we're not still mourning that version of ourselves. We are healed, we're whole, and we can't really move forward looking behind us. And so we can't truly and genuinely, at our fullest potential, move forward looking behind us at all the things that have happened. And like I said, we're not forgetting about it, but we're walking in forgiveness and we're moving forward to who God called us to be, so that we can obtain the blessings, obtain that overflow. If I'm looking back, I don't even know that the stuff overflowing. That you need running water in the sink. You're not present with the water running. Because you back somewhere else doing something doing, you just doing something else. We ain't gonna say what you was doing. You doing something else. And so you're not looking at the water overflowing. And so what's gonna happen? You're gonna miss the overflow. We're not trying to miss that. We need that. We gotta get that. Um, and so I can't even begin to tell you guys how grateful I am for every listen, every message, every share, every prayer. It's all a reminder of God's faithfulness. However, I don't want to look back at oh, I don't want to really spend too much time looking back at um just the past, I'm glad that it started. I don't want to get so caught up on the fact that when I started, I was supposed to do this 5 years ago. And so now the song that I'm singing is, oh, I was supposed to do this 6 years ago. And so I don't want to get too caught up on that. I feel like God's timing has been perfect, and I started the podcast when I was supposed to. When I encountered the people that I needed to encourage me through this journey, when I encountered the people that I needed, that needed me, that needed the things that I was gonna go through in the time that I didn't start. And so I'm grateful for that. And so I'm not going to stay caught up on the fact that I started. I think we talked about this last season, if not the season before. But I don't want to get caught up in any milestone. So what do you do after the celebration? What happens after the anniversary, the graduation, after the promotion, after the answer prayer, after the breakthrough? You spent months or maybe even years asking for it. So when it happens, what do you do next? And so we spend so much of our lives or our time just preparing for the moment we've been praying for, that we really prepare for the life we're supposed to live after that moment arrives. Like, what's next? What's next? And then I feel like I said, I get so caught up in getting to where I want it to be in my journey, that I forget that God's still calling me higher. I'm still being called higher. To whom much is given, much is required. So I'm still required to show up, to be faithful, to be obedient. He's still calling me. And I'm sure that, he's still calling you too. You think we talked about we talked about when your parents calling you, they be like, "Hey, come here, Kiara, come here," and you come and you go to where they actually, yup, you hear me calling you. You bet to come, and if you don't come, you getting a beating. The beating is the beating, the whooping is. the the weapons, the weapons forming up against you. They better you better keep being obedient, or the weapons but to prosper. I was like, you gotta know that like I said, here we are. We're excited about um how far we've came and how much we've grown. We so like, somebody ain't never had that when they be like, they just stuck on the fact, girl, I bought a new microphone. Okay, you gonna use it? Oh, I got a new camera. Ooh, you gonna keep using it. You can get your money's worth. You gonna get you gonna get your money worth. You better get. Uh, yeah. So while we celebrated the destination, God is celebrating our transformation. And like I said, we get excited because we finally arrive. Like, oh, I'm here. And God smiles because of who we became on the way there. And so our transformation is like, it's like he knew that we could do it. While we doubted ourselves, God knows what we're capable of. And all the bending and the stretching and the shaking that we go through. Um it's for a reason. And so I say that to say, in your well doing, don't grow weary. In your consistency, don't get so caught up in the fact that like, I don't feel like don't get so caught up in that. Just know that you continuously showing up is gonna benefit you in the end. It's gonna grow you to a point that it's gonna kill some versions of yourself that were unhealthy, that were detrimental to you being able to move forward. And when I say move forward, I mean move forward as a parent, as a employee, as a friend, as a significant other, or whatever the case may be. Your consistency in wanting to change and being adaptable to your growth, like, you're gonna have to adapt to different things, different environments, different people. You're gonna have to adapt to doing without people, because we talk about that a lot, about how everybody can't grow where you going. Everybody can't go where you're going. Ooh, hold on, I'm about to be a rapper. Everybody can't go where you going. Everybody can't go where you going. What you doing, girl? Oh, y'all, I be needing to. I sometimes I really need. Okay, we're gonna stop doing this button at the top of our head with the headphones because it's not working out. It's getting to take it down. But anyway, um, yeah, but our destination, and our growth, it changes our circumstances. However, the journey is what changes us as individuals. I feel like this journey, along with a lot of other journeys that I'm on, um, I feel like they're shaping me and molding me into a woman that is so proud. Well, that I'm so proud of. Um, and so I want to keep going. Um, I want to see how far I can grow. I want to see what else God has in store for me, because I know that He's not done with me. I know that I have so much more work to do. And this new chapter, has been written without pressure, and not trying to impress anyone, just to really flourish in who God called me to be. And so I'm just grateful for it all. I really am. And while I'm grateful, I'm still growing. And I've accepted that, and I'm okay with that. I'm glad that I've gotten as far as I have gotten. However, I don't want to get so caught up on what I've been through, which I would love to share my story, my testimony with others. However, I don't want to be so emotionally attached to um to my story that I can't get past it, if that makes sense. And y'all, talk to me if you feel like any different from what I'm saying. let me know. I want to talk about it. I want to know how you feel. I want to know what you're growing through in all of this. And so that I can just like see it from other perspectives, because here I am thinking about, my take on it, and my stance on how I feel about my growing process and my journey. I would love to talk to you all about what's going on with you. How are you feeling? Are you still emotionally attached to um your past, where it's like you really you feel like you've healed from it, but you're still emotionally attached to it, so, which is kind of, to me, which is kind of an indicator that you aren't fully healed. I think when I talk about the things that I've been through and I cry, it's really tears of joy for me. It's not like, oh, I can't believe them people did that to me. It's not that. It's not that. It's like, dang, like, girl, you done been through all that. You ain't dead. You still alive. Blink twice if somebody making you do this. And so, um, Joe from work, um, he encouraged me to take some time like for myself, where I just spend like 15 minutes by myself. And so at first I started off where I would just sit in the car for a little minute, for those little 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes, just to like get away from the kids, kind of just mom. And he encouraged me to spend those 15 minutes just by myself, just to breathe or whatever the case may be. And so I began to use those 15 minutes uninterrupted. I told the kids, hey, don't bring y'all behind out here. Y'all come out here if you want to. You know, when your mama do her mouth like this, that means business. And so I started spending those 15 minutes with God, not to ask for anything, um not to ask him to do anything for me, but just to give me clarity. Like, my question continuously every time for the last times that I've done that, or Lord, who are you calling me to be in this season? I want so bad what God wants for me. My agenda is, I don't have an agenda. I don't have an agenda. I don't have um I'm trying to not have a will, but I want to genuinely live in God's will. And so I continuously say, Lord, your will be done in my life and the life of those connected to me, like I was telling you guys. And y'all connected to me, so y'all about to get that. Do you need that? Y'all know I like to ask y'all that. Do you need that? We all need that. We all need that. We need that to be what it is. And so yeah, I'm praying for not only myself but for y'all's spiritual peace. And if two shall come together and agree, then it is so. Hey, hold on now. Y'all better stop. I better stop. We getting it. We are we are growing to where God called us to be. Um and so, like I said, even after the celebration, he's still calling us higher. We really just getting our foot wet. We ain't in the water like that. You know how when you go to the beach, it's like, you can still see your feet when you first get to the to the front of the water, and then as you get deeper and deeper, you can't see what's going on. And so, you hold on now. I don't need no jellyfish getting on my toe. Ooh, get up. And so here we are. When I'm at the beach, I got to trust God, because matter of fact, you know what? I'm telling a story because, y'all, I don't go where I can't see my feet. But if I can't see my feet, I'm too deep. It's too deep. But we're not gonna always see what God is doing. But it's gonna keep getting deeper and deeper. We're not gonna always see what it is that he's doing in the next season, or what it is he's expecting from us. We're just gonna have to keep growing. We're gonna have to keep trusting him. We're gonna have to keep being obedient. We're gonna have to keep showing up. We're gonna have to keep doing all the things. We're gonna have to keep doing it. Doing it and doing it and doing it. Y'all not from the 90s, y'all from today. And so um yeah, it's been so good. um the now what, and I'm just waiting, just being patient and waiting to hear from God, so that I know what's next. And I feel like he just keeps on showing me, as I don't be knowing sometimes, y'all. I just be like, we better talk about. And I literally am here just talking about what's on my mind, what's on my heart. Cuz like I said, um I get so caught up in the milestone sometimes that I will talk about the same thing over and over and over again, cuz I'm just so proud. Like, oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm so happy I made it 1 year. But I'm continuously um just asking, God, how do I continue to lead well? How do I steward what it is that you have given me? How do I make wise decisions? How do I become the woman that you're calling me to be? And I hope that and y'all can steal those questions. God ain't said only I can ask them questions. Y'all can ask those questions for yourself too. Cause he gonna tell y'all what he wants y'all to do before he tell me, you know. And so ask God, how do you steward what he's given you, so that you can continue to grow in that aspect. um yeah, when you get to where you're growing, how do you continue to grow? And you just have to, link up with God and just be like, God, what's up? And that's how I talk to him. I'm like, what's up, God? Like, what you about to do? What you about to do? Because I don't know. I don't know. um this season, I want to announce that this season is not about reflecting. It's about becoming, and not becoming not just becoming successful, not becoming popular, not becoming wealthy, not becoming a manager, not becoming a better mom or whatever the case, but becoming who God created you to be. That's what this season is about. Amongst a lot of other things that we are going to talk about in between. But the base of this is about who, becoming who God called us to be. And so, I am so grateful, for the opportunity to hang out with you guys this week. And I hope that this episode helps someone in the way that they need to be helped. Like I said, guys, give me some feedback, because I'm always open to hear all the things. I'm going to put my email address up here so that you guys can shoot me a little email. If you're my friend on social media, you can hit me up on there as well. If you don't have my social media, then I'll put that up there too. So we can be friends for real. We can be real friends. I love you guys with my whole heart. We're going to go ahead and wrap this week's episode up. Yeah, that's it. I love y'all. Later.